What a fantastic group of people. Fantastic group of people. Isn't this awesome? You guys are all ReciProty members. I know almost every single one of you guys, and what you do. Do you know how powerful that is out there? Wherever I go, I can remember you, picture you, what you do, and I can spread the word and let people connect to you. ReciProty is tearing down the walls. Hello? ReciProty is tearing down the walls and taking away the box. You are not confined anymore. Would you invest your retirement in one basket? You wouldn't. This is your future. This is your business. And this is ReciProty. It was developed for you. And all of you are now running with it. It's awesome. So today, what I figured I'd do is go over ReciProty a little bit, because there's some people, members, that are very, very familiar. They are tripling their sales. They're connecting to customers. They're meeting their quota for the whole entire year. And then there's others that want to belong. They want to do things, but they don't know where to turn. So this is the opportunity. This is only an event for ReciProty members. It's an opportunity for you to know one another. So what we're going to do is I'm going to go over an agenda that actually ReciProty is connecting that missing link, like years ago. The communities where they were based on people supporting one another, face-to-face contact. So what is ReciProty? I'm going to cover the background, the vision, referrals, that it's taking networking to that next level. It's nothing like anything else out there. It was meant to be developed. And since launch, what has occurred since launch of March 2012, and its future, where it's heading. Background, my name is Renee. If anybody doesn't know me, my name is Renee Wilbur. I have 3 degrees. I was employed by Home Depot. I actually assisted opening a few of them on the East Coast. And I was an executive for AT&T Corporate. I have a nursing degree. I also worked for Office Pavilion because I have a designer's degree. And in 2000, my husband and I, we started Ecotech Associates. We did cardiac and vascular sonography. And I have no idea what my employees did, but I ran the company for 12 years. So we serviced hospitals, cardiac surgeons. My husband was the first accredited echocardiographer here in Oregon, and vascular surgeons, and I depended on my employees, but I ran all the internal dealings and operations of a small business, so I know what all of you are going through and what it is to connect to the resources you need and where to turn. So my vision for ReciProty was actually born February 22nd, 2009. I know the date exactly. My husband, in August of 2008, we drove down to the beach, and on Sunday I rushed him to St. V's. He was diagnosed with 4 brain abscesses and had 7 brain surgeries. 7. Took a year of rehab, couldn't talk to me for 3 months. We also fostered over 40 children. I had 7 kids at the time, and no immediate family here. So I turned to my community for support. We had Tom's daughter and son was in, ex-wife, but I turned to every single church, not just one congregation, every single congregation. Those children never missed a meeting. And we made it through. 3 months, he knew the prayer, but he couldn't speak to me, not one word. And I said, if I'm going to work this hard, Tom, so are you. So he suffers from polyneuropathy, but he is here. Tom, you want to stand? Vision. I grew up on the boardwalk of Jersey, and I've been networking as long as I can walk. If anybody says that Seaside is at the Oregon coast, I'll say Seaside Heights is on the East Coast as well, and that is a boardwalk. I lived there 15 years of my life. My vision for ReciProty is learning what networking is all about, and that's basically it. And it's the value and quality. You can't network via computer. You need that face-to-face connection. But when you're not meeting face-to-face, how else can you network? Well, you can share leads. And if you know other members, you can share a whole bunch of leads and you can promote. Soon you can have your business being promoted by 100 to 200 people. All these people know me. Guess what? They're going to be promoting wherever they go. Hey, you hear about ReciProty, right, Paul? It's all about networking, but it's that face-to-face. So many people and business owners, especially when they start out, and we're at different levels in life. And I think when we reach a certain level, somebody just says they need a helping hand. And when we grab onto them and say, okay, you're down, we've been there, man. We're going to grab onto your hand. We're going to help you pull up, but just pay it forward. They don't know where to turn. They don't know who to turn to. And starting, when I started that small business, Justin here, he could have solved at least 3 companies in one. And then, you know, as a small business owner, who has money to waste? The more resources you have and the options you have, you can make the right decision, and then you have cost savings. If you don't have those knowledges and you don't have that resource, wrong decisions cost money, period. So I said to myself, I look at all these other sites out there, and I said to myself, what if we harness and organize all resources on a local level? Look at all the people just here. Can you imagine all the people in Oregon? If we harness these resources on a local level, we can actually share them on a national and global level. Meaning that Paul knows a lot of things, right? Most of the people here, Glenn, you know a lot. That if we teach each other within minutes, learn from people within minutes, I can connect nationally to somebody who I need to connect to when and instantly. So not only locally, we strengthen our communities, but we can connect nationally to our resources as well, and even on a global level, because we all know something. My vision for ReciProty, it was developed on over 500 pages of a Word document, step-by-step instructions. Every color, every box. I have one programmer, a part-time project manager who I found through resources, 3 years on a Word doc, the Excel sheet, 4 months alone. The logo, everything has so many thoughts, 2 months. I was meant to develop a site like this because nobody can take your heart, your soul, your mind, or your experiences that you go through in life. Unless you can relate to a lot of these, they can't do that. ReciProty was meant to be every single step, and then my programmer would put something up. I'm like, that's not my site. So most of my money went into the business networking community, and I'll get to that real quick. So why are referrals important? According to the authors of Getting Business to Come to You, 45% of most service businesses are chosen by the recommendations of others. People don't have money to waste. They want to know who they can connect to and who to trust for help. Face-to-face networking still trumps social networking mentions, no matter how well the latest tech tools allow us to stay in touch. Face-to-face meetings are still very important. The article continues to state, it's the people who know you the best and trust you the most who can wind up helping you the most. What makes ReciProty different? It is not a social network site. It is a resource exchange website. And it allows members to connect instantly, locally, or online, 24/7, 365 days a year. That means if you need support, you can just turn right to ReciProty for your local community. And we're all local. You can meet for coffee. It's local, yet national, and soon to be global. And what else it does is that it separates personal from business needs. We're all businesses here, but when somebody in our community needs help, are we here to support our community? You better believe it. And I'm going to show you something in a little bit. It can happen within minutes. It can change a person's life within minutes, and it has proven to do so. It tears down the walls, takes away the backs, allows you to reach 100% of your community, 100% of your community members, 100% of the time. Not 1, not 2, not 3, not 16, 100%. It allows you to learn from others, sometimes within minutes, what it took years for them to learn. Allows instant access to local members, events, functions, and resources. Offers marketing and financial opportunities. And it provides competition. My neighborhoods, I'm just going to touch base. This is the community section. This is where if you're in need, and everybody is in need now and then, you can actually turn to your community and you can request support from your neighbors. But what's really nice about this is that if you're selling Girl Scout, one of your relatives are selling Girl Scout cookies, if you post this on the wall, you're going to reach all Oregon members and into Washington. Every single member on ReciProty, anything that's doing with congregational events, organization is business, but congregational, any clothing needed for the homeless, you post it on the wall. You're not just reaching your 5 to 10 members, you're reaching all of your community here in Oregon and Washington. So, like Paul offers the vehicle for teenagers. He gives away a vehicle for teenagers. If that's on the wall, all you guys would know about it. Believe me, you'd be going to his site. This is what we do. We share all these resources. In the My Neighbor section, what's so nice about this is that and I've used this a couple of times, if you're in need or you have a friend in need. I had an employee that he injured his arm. He couldn't drive to his doctor's appointment. Lived in Gaston, by the way. And of course, his wife doesn't drive, so guess what I did? I can't take him to all his appointments. I went on ReciProty, connected with Mr. Chuck Moore, and from Aloha to Gaston to Interstate, we got him to every single one of his appointments and back home safely. For how many weeks was that, Chuck? A couple weeks, right? 3 weeks? Yeah, at least 3. So we help now, and if you don't want just anybody serving meals or you have an emergency, you can actually consider a trusted neighborhood group on this. What's really nice about this section is that also if you have a loved one in another state, all you have to do is create a new neighborhood, look at somebody offering companionship, prayer services, or whatever, and say, can you be with my mother until I can get there? If this was alive, well, it was alive, but if New Jersey knew about this when Sandy hit on the East Coast, they would know where the gas station is located. They would know where to get the milk, where they were serving food, where to get their gas, and they would reach all of New Jersey and into New York. All we need to do is spread the word. This was developed for you. Networking member section. This is where most of my funds went in. You will see on this wall, we share all business resources. John Torino starts it usually in the beginning of the month. He posts his calendar. You will have access to every single networking event going on in Oregon. You don't have to go to all these different sites to find it. And then we all add to it. And not only that, the more that you promote your business, like Chuck, if you read the first one, the more you promote your business, guess what happens? Everybody on ReciProty gets to know you because they see you every day. I know exactly who does what they offer services in, and if I come across somebody that needs cell phone, I'm going to say, you know what, you're going to have to call Jeff. He might be able to help you. If you need funeral services and you're in need, you call Chuck. I can name them all off because I see them every day. So if you like it or not, when you get onto this site, you're led to this wall and you're embedded, just embedded. My active business groups, when I was saying tear down the walls, as you can see the first one, these are my business groups. So some business groups, you have one specialty, and then you have some that are like chambers with multiple. Mine is the High Achievers Club. We've shared, how many? 249 leads with one another, and our business group just became active, I think in October. What's really nice about this is we meet face-to-face every other week, and when we're not meeting face-to-face, we share leads on ReciProty. Now, that does a couple things. Number one is that if you need, when somebody sends me a lead, they actually stay on ReciProty. So instead of scratching it down on pieces of paper, I can go back and say I have to do a follow-up. So when I send somebody a lead, it tracks them. And when they send me a lead, it tracks them. but it opens it up to the community. If there's a small business owner struggling, which we all are nowadays, they can go on ReciProty, look at every local group. They'll look down and say, oh my gosh, well that one has 0 referrals, that one doesn't do much. Look at this one, 259. I want to go to the High Achievers Club because I want to earn some income. So they can come in, they can request to join, but they can't get in because you have a group creator that defines the rules. The only way to get into my High Achievers group is you have to come to 2 of our meetings, and guess what? All members get to vote. And then the group creator gets the tally and then decides if that person's coming in or not because you're held accountable. But what's real nice about our group is that you're not forced to buy from those right in our group. What it does is we actually take what everybody does and we spread it to everybody else. We share what we do with others. So now we have members competing against each other of who's going to send more leads. And we're on our 3rd High Achievers group because now groups are competing against each other because it tells you how many leads each person sends. You can look at the referrals. And if you belong to one group that has a specialty that has like maybe 5, 10, 20 members and you're confined to that group, well, why don't you just open down those walls or tear them down? Because why would you harness and build walls around you where if everybody can see your group in the neighborhood section, all members in Oregon can look at your group and they could say, well, you have a really neat group. You're sharing leads, you're active, and I really need more business. I want to come join. Can I request to join? They can actually contact you. And say you have a group that has 10 members or 15 or 5, and you need another specialty in your group. Guess what? You can look on the neighborhood wall. These are all your business members. They tell you what they offer services in. You can look at their ratings. You can look at their comments. You can link to their email. And you can invite them to join. Say, you know, we don't have anybody with office furniture. Would you like to join our group? And you can get to know one another. It tears down the walls. Everyday discounts. This is for all. If you're out of work, unemployed, and you can mow a lawn, you can post a discount. They can connect to you, they can call you, but what really this does for businesses, especially restaurants, Old Spaghetti Factory, or any of your services, they link directly to you. It's first come, first serve. It's not bidding higher or anything else. That means if they need, Paul's right there, look at that. Paul, I use him as an example right there, Paul Digger, manages the Dick Hanna. If you clicked on that, you can actually get fleet pricing for your business, your employees, and their family members. Well, if you don't go on ReciProty, how are you going to know that? And then if you say, I want it, not only when he posts it, it goes out to 5,000 different Twitter, Facebook, every place else. It goes to social network sites. You could share it with all your family members. But if it's posted on the wall and you click, I want it, it's going to go directly to Paul. And he will... You just post on ReciProty, it goes directly to him. If you want to increase your business, you need to be posting some discounts, even if you offer 5% off, because you're going to reach all of Oregon and into Washington. The member directory section is just another effective way if somebody's looking for carpet cleaning or what, a bookkeeping for Lori. They just type in bookkeeping and you pull up. They can look at your referrals and ratings. Not anybody can rate you, it's your group members. Since launch of March 2012, and after 3 and something years to create it, ReciProty's won the Bronze Trophy for the Best Website of the Year for the Women's International in Business for the Stevie's Award. Some members have been tripling their sales. Others have met quota for the entire year. There's a 3rd High Achievers group forming in East Portland. We've also created our first national elite group. That's for all national elite leaders. So Darnell Davis is on there, Paul's in there, Glenn Odell's in there. Most importantly, ReciProty has provided a means for small business owners to stay in business and for people within our community to get the help, support, and resources they need. You need anything and you write on that wall and people check it every day, they're going to respond to you. And they will tell you what they can help you with. If you need to know how to write a business plan, marketing plan, you post it, I'll connect you to Dan. We just need to know your needs. But Recip is two-way. How I got the name for it. Re is to reestablish that community support system. Recip is two-way. We help each other. Pro is for professionalism, T is for community. ReciProty. So you are ReciProty. The efforts, just like a small business, what you put into ReciProty, you're going to get out of it. The more you put some effort in, and this is a site that's worth doing it, because you're not wasting your time. Really, you're working smarter, not harder, because you're going to have, eventually, you'll have 100 to 200 people promoting your products and services. So you are ReciProty. The more local people who join, the more support and more customers you will have. That's basically it. And I'm going to tell you, you'll hear some testimonials soon. So this was my imagine when I developed it, and I know there's so many people out there in need. I can feel them. That's why I developed this site. And what I need to do is reach them, and I need you to help me. If you get support from this site, I need you to help another. So renewed hope and economic recovery, newfound strength in our communities, people taking the time to give support for whatever means they can offer, neighbors helping neighbors, people and businesses connecting to the resources and opportunities they need, and it's happening. I want to introduce Thomas, Caddy.
In the start of ReciProty, you know, I met Renee at some group meeting, and she goes, I can work in group resources. So I gave her my card, we clicked together, and then eventually we decided to form this high achievers group. And part of the strategy was, you know how right now in small towns, there's always a restaurant and people get together and have coffee in the morning, you see them there? They're trading back and forth leads and deals. So why couldn't we put the same concept together and call it high achievers? So the moral of the story was I already had people I was sharing leads with. I've been in the, did I mention sales training business for 30 years? A lot of my clients, Chuck's one of my older clients. Anyway, so we decided to put this training together, high achievers group, and we decided we're not going to have it like all those other networking groups where they have all these rules. You got to pay monthly dues, and if you arrive late, you get a fine, and you have to put blah, 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 blah. It's really simple. We said if you're a seasoned networker and you have the habit of sharing leads back and forth with people in the middle of the week, late at night, sending emails, we want you on our team. And if you're not, go to one of those other places and then complain and whine. So we set up that group to match exactly that parameter. And pretty soon it started growing. We had, I think, 4 people in our first meeting, and then it jumped to like 7 or 8, and then we've been as high as probably over 20, I think, in a meeting. That spawned Jeff to start a, stand up Jeff, to start our McMinnville group, and now that's growing. We have an East County group, and where's Justin? Okay, so, oh yeah, we got, Mark's doing it too. So we have 2 or 3 people, actually 6 people now so far starting the East County group. And our whole thing is you show up and you pass leads. And in the middle of the week, you pass some more leads. And if you do that, you stay in the group. If after a period of time we see that you're not passing leads, we encourage you to get busy. If you don't do it, you're out. We find somebody to replace you. And so, that's my short story.
That's short story.
Thank you.
Thank you to Renee and to Thomas for starting the High Achievers group. That's where I first got involved with ReciProty. I've taken Renee to a couple other functions with Tom's approval. A couple of chamber functions. As soon as we get in there, I lose her. She makes it back around the room sometime, but she starts out with a stack of 1,000 cards and manages to pass out 2,000. I'm not sure how the math works on that, but I want to thank ReciProty and the rest of the High Achievers Club for really changing the game in networking. You don't see me at a lot of these after-hour functions. You won't find me down at the Bricks Tavern doing that one. Hey, I have plenty of friends. I need more business. And ReciProty is a networking neighborhood, not a social plan. Thanks, guys.
I thank you for everybody for being here. It's I was surprised. I didn't realize I was getting a reward, but 2012, I met Thomas, and the High Achievers Club was just getting started. ReciProty was just starting to come I guess really getting started in 2012 in our area. And one of the best decisions I made in 2012 was to join ReciProty and get involved and be involved in the High Achievers Club. It has literally defined my business. 1/3 of my business has come from ReciProty in the High Achievers Club. And just from networking, from just getting out there and creating relationships. And we're all in this room, we all know it's bottom line about relationships. So Renee's created a platform that we can do that much easier and go beyond just our circle of influence. And so thank you, Renee. Well, it's increased my my sales and the business that at least by 1/3, over 1/3. So this is what ReciProty's done for me. It really, again, has defined my business. I wouldn't be where I'm at right now in Solivay if it wasn't for ReciProty. So I'm in Solivay. It's a new mobile service provider based out of Seattle. And if you need cell phone service, my little quick plug, that's it. Unlimited voice, data, text, $49. But my group has grown tremendously by being able to spread the word through ReciProty and providing better service to people that are looking for something better in service and just in value. And so ReciProty's done that and has helped really share the word. So, and the relationship that's been built in ReciProty have been priceless. So, thank you.
Well, I have to say that it is an absolute pleasure to see so many people in this room today. When Renee embarked upon ReciProty, there were a lot of people who said, you can't compete with Facebook, you can't compete with LinkedIn, you can't compete with all of the other networking events that happen in Portland. And Renee has proved them wrong, because we are here today. I have had the privilege of working with Renee for many, many months now. I like to think that I was responsible for taking her to Brick's Tavern to meet some folks there. I like to think I was responsible for taking her to Portland Business Alliance events and a host of other events where we have networks that need the kind of help that ReciProty offers. So I would encourage you, as you do business with people who are not members of ReciProty yet, to encourage them to become ReciProty members, to encourage them to join this community, which is, I believe, going to do some tremendous things for our businesses, for our economy, and for our lives. So, Renee, thank you very, very much for doing that.
I helped Renee in whatever way I could to develop ReciProty. I watched her work tirelessly, and her brain never stopped. She just kept thinking of more and more things that involved helping other people, and it's been very inspiring to see her make the impact that she has. She and I have become very close, and I consider her more than just somebody that I work for. I consider her my friend. And that came into play and really hit home with me when my son was killed in January. Immediately, Renee called me because she had gotten on ReciProty, and she put it out there that I needed help, and Chuck Hunting contacted her and told her to tell me not to worry about anything. I had no money for funeral expenses. I had no idea how expensive funeral expenses were. And was completely, of course, unprepared. My son was 18 years old, and I didn't even know what to expect. The whole process was extremely foreign to me. And first time I met Chuck, he made a bad experience be completely comfortable as far as my peace of mind. He was so dedicated as a ReciProty member to help me, and I am so grateful for that experience.
Within 5 minutes, I made one phone call, and within 5 minutes, Chuck called back and said, "Don't worry about it. It's all taken care of."
And it was. Everything was taken care of. Everything I needed, he knew. And you were just amazing. You treated me like...
Hello, everyone. I'm honored to be here today. I met Renee roughly a year ago, I believe at a schmooze event. And she didn't tell me this, but I know this, especially knowing her now, that she has a similar philosophy to me as far as life and business, which is be of service to people, be humble, and live with gratitude, an attitude of gratitude. And on a metaphysical level and law of attraction, it's always going to create abundance for everyone you love and everyone you run into in your path. And Renee exuded that to me, and I wanted to immediately attach to her hip, and thankfully she's let me, and support her vision. I think her vision's beautiful. It's obviously working. Personally in business, I'm similar to Jeff. I'm just under 30% of all of my clients come through ReciProty or our High Achievers Club. And I'm extremely thankful to Renee, and I love her, and I'm really, really happy to see this event manifest.
Well, thank you, Renee. I have been accused of having high energy, and if I meet anybody that can match my high energy, it's Renee. And I just fell in love with what she was doing and the way she was helping people network in new and exciting ways. And again, her energy was what got my attention, and her passion got my attention. And my name happens to be born Rick Heimbuck. Nobody can remember Heimbuck, so I go by Coach Rick. Send me a note. I'll get in touch with you. Let's exchange business. What I love doing is referring business. I just need to know who you are and what you do. I'll refer you. But again, a big hand for Renee. Her energy level makes me look weak.
My name is Paul Dicker. I work with the Dick Hanna dealerships. And I have two hats that I wear. One that pays me and one that's my passion. My passion is the strive to drive. Anybody here have any high school kids in your life? Okay. This year, we moved it out of just Clark County to the entire bi-state area. A student, a full-time high school student, 14 and up, can enter so long as he or she has raised second semester grades, what we're in right now, over first semester by a half a point. Meaning an F student can raise to a D minus and win a prize that'll change his or her life for the rest of their life. Or they maintain a 3.5 average for the year. If they do so, they can register on the website at dickhanna.com/strive, the number 2 drive, because if it's not the number 2, it becomes an STD. Just saying if anybody's listening. Strive to drive. There's a drawing on July 11th, must be present to win, and that kid is going to have a choice of one of 9 brand new cars or $15,000 just for doing his homework. So if you have a student that needs some impetus, a little push, he can have a brand new car for doing his homework. Thank you so much. Paul Dicker.
Get ready to network. We're going to network with results.